Something else that I found very interesting in regards to the emails has to do with pandemics and how Jeffrey Epstein being in the loop in regards to pandemics and talking about that is just obviously very, very strange. And honestly, like, I really don't have that much of an explanation for this. Obviously, there are a lot of people that believe that COVID was created by the government or a government. Lots of people think it's a man-made virus. I don't know. I mean, my sister is a doctor, so I kind of have always like gone the route of coronavirus has always been a thing. It's just like this particular strain was obviously very bad and caused a pandemic. But what I will say, it's very, very strange to hear these emails between Jeffrey Epstein and his colleagues about pandemics when he obviously died before COVID happened. So you do with that what you will. So in March of 2015, Jeffrey Epstein received an email that said, please find attached a draft agenda for the meeting on preparing for pandemics. Let's discuss next steps. For example, how to officially involve the WHO and ICRC. Best regards, and I hope we can pull this off. What do you mean by that? Like, in context, is he talking about pulling off getting the WHO to be in participation with him? Or are they pulling off potentially creating a fucking virus that causes a worldwide pandemic? Throughout the emails, there's no necessary language about like releasing a virus or engineering a pathogen or any of that like type of thing that would obviously implicate that this was in fact somewhat set up. Hope we can pull this off really just rings true and kind of makes conspiracy theorists hang on to that one phrase, because what the hell do you mean by that? Pull what? Like, I don't know. It is just weird. And I feel like Epstein being involved with literally everything keeps freaking me out. I feel like everywhere I turn, there is a connection to Jeffrey Epstein in some way. And I don't fucking like that. So the fact that COVID ended up being one of the biggest conspiracy theories of all time, that people really do believe that they, the elite, the government, whoever you want to call it, released this virus upon us. The fact that Jeffrey Epstein was kind of talking about preparing for pandemics and hoping they can pull it off obviously is a little suspicious, and I don't like it overall. Anyway, we're gonna move on to tier 3 of conspiracy theories, which is the deep waters. So I feel like Trump has to be talked about when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein. I don't understand how there are people who do not think at this point that Trump is involved. To some degree, at least knowing it. Recently has been that people have been saying that Trump was the whistleblower and he was the one who called the police and said that Epstein was a bad guy. This isn't true. That allegedly in 2006, Donald Trump made a phone call to the police department saying, after Jeffrey Epstein had started to be investigated for these sexual crimes, where Trump allegedly said, oh, I'm glad you guys are investigating this guy. He's a freak and everybody knows it. Everyone knows what he's doing. Even though multiple times Trump has said that he had no idea what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump was trying to expose Epstein because that's not even accurate. It was after Epstein was already being investigated. And a lot of people, including myself, think he was calling to cover his own fucking ass. Obviously, what do you do when someone that you're involved with gets caught? It makes sense that he wanted to cover his tracks. And maybe him implicating Ghislaine Maxwell, again, we don't even know if this phone call is real, but maybe him implicating Ghislaine Maxwell was him kind of trying to leverage his knowledge to remain protected. I do think that that's a possibility here. But overall, I feel like we need to reiterate like the facts here, which is that Trump is mentioned 38,000 times in the fucking Epstein file. That's the redacted version. And I will say this again and again, and I feel like anytime, like if I was like fighting with a MAGA person, I would say this, which is if you were accused of being involved with one of the most horrific like sex traffickers of all time, why would you not want the DOJ to release every file unredacted to prove your innocence? Why wouldn't you want that? Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these conspiracy theories. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.